107.5 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
If you stayed up late last night after the rain delay, you might have seen the Braves lose 2-1 once again. I figured what happened last night in the bottom of the eighth inning was the perfect microcosm for the Braves season. Down 1-0 at that point in time. Ronald Acuna Jr. gets walked, bases are loaded, 2 outs, and then Austin Riley immediately strikes out. They have been unable to hit with runners in scoring position. Their offense is completely anemic. They're 87 days away from South Carolina, kicking off against Virginia Tech in week number 1 out in Atlanta. And we've now kind of entered that slow portion, especially as, again, we're about to come to the end of the NBA season, NHL season, college sports wrapping up here in the next couple weeks as well. We get that long grind of the offseason where it feels like the season will never get here.
Especially before the All-Star break in Major League Baseball. And look, for me, I'm not a baseball fan at all. So all of baseball season feels this way to me, but it really feels like nothing is going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, the division races really don't heat up until you get into late July, August, because, how important is a game in the middle of June?
Exactly. You can name a lot of examples of teams in early June that were double-digit games back that either won the division, secured a wild card spot, whatever the case may be. So I guess right now you would say when it comes to college football, we are firmly in talking season, right?
Absolutely. Chris weighs in, says South Carolina lands elite talent. The problem is they don't land enough blue chippers on an annual basis for any upward mobility in college football. Their blue chip ratio is actually decent. But again, you're talking about in the SEC.
Right.
You're always going to be behind the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Texases. So you do have to do a lot to be able to compete with that.
I mean, we talked about this in relation to yesterday's release of ESPN's FPI, right? That Carolina is one of the top 20 teams in the country, but not one of the top 8 in the SEC, not in the top half of the SEC. It's been true of recruiting for years. And to the texter's point, we are still, I think, living a reality when a 5-star kid be it from the state of South Carolina or from the Atlanta area chooses the Gamecocks. It's still a big story.
Sure.
It's not the same with the teams you're chasing.
Anytime you have Lane Kiffin, there's never a shortage of content and conversations to be had, though I feel like this is one of the quieter Ole Miss off seasons we've had up to this point. I'm trying to think of anything in particular that stuck out to me at this point.
Do you think it's been quieter, or do you think we are just more accustomed to the Lane Kiffin show now?
I think that might be it. Now, of course, at the SC meetings the other week, he went on Feinbaum and took his usual digs at him as their relationship is an interesting one, to say the least. But outside of that, I don't really remember too much about things that Kiffin has said really standing out this offseason.
Oh, you don't remember just a couple of weeks ago when he made the comment of how do you get players? Ask the guy in Athens. He just outpays everybody.
That's true. Okay, there's one there.
By the way, a video which I went looking for to grab the audio of has mysteriously disappeared from the internet.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, look, there is a different, as college football media expands and everybody with a Twitter page thinks of themselves as a college football influencer, it's amazing how much a phone call from one of these coaches could change
I'm sure.
history.
Yeah.
Suddenly now Lane Kiffin could pretend he never said that thing.